and on Zingo TV on Chromecast and all smart TVs 2016 forward. Please remember to download both the BarnBurner and Zingo TV apps in their respective app stores. Both are free on both iOS and Android devices. While you're using, please remember to rate and leave a comment so we know that you're enjoying them and getting the most out of your usage. So on this episode of Six and Sticks, I do not have an interview today. Again, I've been hoping in recent weeks for Sarah Steele, but other things are happening within the Toronto Six organization as they continue to get started for their season, and part of their starting of the season means some creative content, meaning I've joined their team as well. So let's get into some Toronto Six stuff because we've got quite a bit to get into today in lieu of no interview. So let's get right down to it. We've got a fun episode planned. So again, there's stories, signings, partnerships, all sorts of stuff going on. And again, it's all a testament to really growing the Toronto Six brand. And I think that they're certainly doing that. So there's a story on Sarah Steele, then we'll get into some partnerships, then we'll get into some signings and some other stuff. Lots to go through, and we're going to start in just a moment or so. With that, I've got insight from someone very special. It doesn't end. So that's really all I'm saying. So let's start with the story on Sarah Steele, which is actually on CBC Prince Edward Island. So Sarah Steele is excited to be part of women's hockey history, doing so with the Toronto Six. And the byline from Shane Ross of CBC News reads, televised games present an amazing opportunity to showcase league. So Sarah Steele is the only player from PEI playing pro in the National Women's Hockey League. Now, women's professional hockey is set to make history next month, and Sarah Steele of Stratford PEI will be skating right in the thick of it. Steele is the only Islander playing in the National Women's Hockey League, which will have its games televised live in the U.S. for the first time when NBC Sports Network airs the Isabel Cup semifinals and final February 4th and 5th. It's a really historic moment, said Steele, who plays defense with the Toronto Six, the only Canadian franchise in the six-team league. You can watch the Olympic Games every 4 years, but I think it's really important that young girls who view us as role models are able to actually see us competing professionally. As a young player on PEI, Steele's role models were Olympians Cassie Campbell and Haley Wickenheiser. At 15, Steele packed her dreams and left PEI to attend high school and play hockey at Appleby College in Oakville, Ontario, before a successful collegiate career at Boston University. In 2013, she won a gold medal with Team Canada at the IIHF U18 World Championship, and after playing pro for 3 years in Europe, Steele, 25, signed a contract with Toronto's expansion team in July. Amy Curlew of Goose Bay, I'm not actually sure where that is, so I think that might be Newfoundland. Steele's former teammate at Appleby College is the only other player from Atlantic Canada on the team. Usually when I come home or come to a team, I don't know the people beforehand, but I did have the pleasure of knowing one person, Steele said. I've just been really happy being part of the team because everyone's just been incredibly welcoming, and I think we all feel really lucky to be able to be on the first Canadian franchise in the NWHL. The league would normally have started in November, but because of COVID-19, the season has been shortened to a tournament January 23rd to February 5th in Lake Placid, New York, home of the 1980s Olympic Miracle on Ice. The new schedule allows Steele to return home for a couple of weeks over Christmas, though she spent most of it in self-isolation. She's now back in the Toronto area, practicing with the team 4 times a week before they head for New York on January 21st. This includes Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, as they are now doing weekend practices every week up until they leave for Lake Placid, which should be towards the end of next week. So, chemistry despite COVID. Despite the restrictions of COVID-19, Steele said the team has become a cohesive unit. Usually you would have tons of team bonding events and go hang out with your teammates outside of the rink, and just because of COVID, we haven't been able to kind of socialize together, but we've been able to develop that team chemistry when we are on the ice. Now, along with that, the semifinals and finals on NBC, all the other games can be viewed on the app Twitch. That's both online and on the app, actually. Steele said she hopes the exposure will further strengthen the 6-team league, though the players earn a salary. Most, including Steele, are in school or work in other jobs to supplement their hockey income. Receiving full salaries. Despite the shortened season, the league said the players will receive their full salaries even if they opt out of the tournament due to COVID concern. Those who opt in will receive an additional stipend and portion of the revenues. It's a really amazing opportunity given there's so many unfortunate things that have come out of COVID, Steele said. We have a really great group of players and coaching staff, so really excited for the tournament. So, again, for all your updates on the Toronto Six, you can follow me on Twitter at Justin Levine HBS and follow my work at thepuckauthority.com as you're going to learn to do so throughout the season with a couple game caps or stories. And then again, some unique stories coming to a site near you and something familiar with, toronto.nwhl.zone, where we now go to, being where Toronto 6 announced yesterday a partnership with the Brampton Beast, the ECHL affiliate of the Ottawa Senators. Now, the Toronto Six, being proud charter Canadian members of the NWHL, are proud to announce a unique partnership. This collaboration is all about exceptional hockey, fan and community engagement, and the chance to promote education, empowerment, and inclusion. While the specifics of the relationship will develop over time, we expect it to be a robust relationship, including joint camps, practices, fans, events, and some double headers later down the road. The two teams have a mutual interest as the Six look to grow the women's game across Ontario, and the Beast look to expand its fan base for affordable, high-quality entertainment across the region. Beast president and general manager Carrie Kaplan put it this way: "At the Beast, we appreciate that women's hockey is nothing but growth in its future. We hope that we can play a small part in exposing more and more people to a spectacular quality of hockey than that the Six will provide. We feel that we have a lot in common, as many people have still not appreciated or experienced both the exceptional level of hockey in the ECHL or the equally strong fan experience that the Beasts provide. As both teams work to grow their fan bases and partnerships, the sky is the limits." It is the limit. Anyways, Six president and head coach Digit Murphy then added, "We are happy to be partnering with an organization like the Beast that shares our core values of inclusion, empowerment, and education. Working together in sport is a powerful message that we will take to our fan base in Toronto. Together, the Beast and the Six will use sports as our platform to be role models and leaders in the community." The Brampton Beast and its managing partner, Cosmos Sports and Entertainment, are thrilled to be assisting the Toronto Six carve out a foundation for their team that together they can build on for the future of hockey. Hockey fans should expect the highest caliber of sport and an empowering fan experience from both teams. Now, Brampton Beasts play at the CAA Center in Brampton, and the Toronto Six again play at Kenland Ice Sports in North York, also home to the York University Lions. So, that being said, I've recently learned that the Toronto Six are done building their roster. I can say that much. It's a stacked roster of talent. I spoke with Emma Woods yesterday, and I plan to get through about half that roster before and during the tournament for featured stories, again, that you can find really anywhere you go visit for your Toronto Six content. That being said, ahead of the inaugural season, much like the Brampton Beasts doing their part, the Peterborough Petes are also doing their part from the Ontario Hockey League. They said, "Can you hear it? The first start on fresh ice, the sound of the goal horn when the puck hits the back of the mesh. The OHL season may remain on pause, but hockey will be hitting our television screens as the National Hockey League and National Women's Hockey League starts up. The NWHL's condensed 2021 season and Isabel Cup playoffs will take place at the 1980 rink Herb Brooks Arena in Lake Placid, New York between January 23rd and February 5th, 2021. The competition in Lake Placid will feature the NWHL's 6 teams: Boston Pride, Buffalo Buttes, Connecticut Whale, Metropolitan Rivers, Minnesota Whitecaps, and the first-year expansion club, the Toronto Six, and will be played without fans in attendance. Instead, they'll have cardboard cutouts from all over the WNBA, the NWSL, the NHL. Certainly a great initiative to see before they all arrive in Lake Placid. In celebration of the Toronto Six's inaugural season, the Petes want to put one local minor hockey player in the stands of the Herb Brooks Arena, know of a hockey player who continues to shoot pucks at home, work on their puck handling, or studies hockey strategy in the face of quarantine. Nominate them today and describe how they are working at home for their chance to win. Now, what they can win is a fan-faced cardboard cutout that will be in the arena in Lake Placid while the Toronto Six are playing, and a Pete's prize pack and an autographed photo of a Six player. The registration closes at on Tuesday, January the 19th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the form is below to nominate a minor hockey player for going the extra mile and developing their hockey skills this season at home. So lots to go through for that process. But that being said, let's continue moving onwards. So that to be said, as we continue to move onwards, the next thing we're going to touch on is an article. Or no, actually, I'm going to touch on a quote first, then a couple of articles. So first, the quote. the Toronto Six announced last week their partnership with Cleveland Clinic Canada, who will be their official healthcare provider for the 2020-21 season. Cleveland Clinic will provide a team physician and other sports medicine providers to support and ensure safe play in their inaugural season. And I was told last night that they are done building their roster with 20 players. And then they will have 3 coaches, an equipment manager, and a trainer. So the team physician, not sure where that wiggles in again, given the 25-person limit to being at Her Brooks Arena. So trying to figure out the logistics of that. But anyways, Cleveland Clinic said, "We are honored to be working closely with the incredibly talented athletes of the Toronto Six. Our team of sports medicine specialists are looking forward to supporting and celebrating the women of the Six during this important inaugural year. Together, we will make history." So again, last week, the Toronto Six announced their last pair of signings in Tatum Claremont, Julie Allen, and Megan Quinn. I wrote about it, and with some insight from a very special individual. Then with that, I got some other insights. So I'm going to share that as well. So let's get right down to that, because I think that you all want to hear who I spoke with to get insight on this team. So that being said, we're going to get into it in just a momento as I look to find it. So if you'll bear with me for just a moment. Again, these players, I can tell you where they all came from. Quinn and Allen are both former members of the Toronto Furies. Then with that, Tatum Claremont is from the Waterloo Warriors, formerly of the Northeastern Huskies in the NCAA, again, playing last year in U Sports. So the article is as follows. While the NWHL Season 6 bubble, with the NWHL Season 6 bubble just 2 weeks away in Lake Placid, New York, the Toronto Six have continued to prepare while bolstering their roster with some last-minute signings. That being said, as kids continue at Camlin, the team announced the signings on Tuesday of Tatum Claremont, Julie Allen, and Megan Quinn. Tatum Claremont, 24 years old, had joined alliances in July with the PWHPA. However, after being left off the hub rosters, that left the Waterloo native seeking other opportunities. Speaking of which, Claremont, a right-handed shooter, has spent the last 2 seasons with the Waterloo Warriors. In 2019-20, the 5'5" forward received recognition as Female Athlete of the Year. Appearing on TSN and Sportsnet, Claremont had the best season statistically in the 18-year history of the Women's Warriors hockey program. Named as a first-team All-Star, Claremont scored 11 goals in 23 games played. As well, she led the OUA in both points and assists with 28 and 17. Doing so, Claremont was named as OUA Player of the Year as well as Forward of the Year. According to the official press release, Claremont was the first player in Warriors history to lead the league in scoring. During her tenure at Waterloo, she was recognized as a U Sports second-team All-Canadian and was named in November U Sports Athlete of the Month. While there, she led the Warriors in scoring in 2018-19 and 2019-20. For Claremont, 2019-20 was her 5th full season of collegiate hockey. Before making the transition to Waterloo, she spent 3 seasons playing in the NCAA. Doing so for the Northeastern Huskies, Claremont scored 13 goals along with 37 points. In a statement from Sean Reagan on Tuesday, head coach of the Warriors women's hockey team, he said of what the forward accomplished, "We are all incredibly proud of Tatum, who has worked so hard to reach this level. We know she will be very successful as part of the Six." As for Tatum Claremont herself, she said of the chance to make the leap up to pro, "I am thrilled to have the opportunity to join the Toronto Six. The T6 roster is a passionate and hardworking group of players and coaches, which is an atmosphere I thrive in. I believe my skill and tenacity will be a great addition to the team chemistry." Claremont was not the only forward signed by Toronto on Tuesday for the upcoming season. They also signed forward Julie Allen, who last played as a pro with the Toronto Furies. Allen is a Clarkson Cup champion, having captured the Cup back in 2014. Through 5 seasons in the CWHL, Allen played in a total of 102 games. A native of Brampton, Ontario, Allen spent all 5 with the Toronto Furies, and now 33 years old, already looks to continue where it is she left off. With the Furies, she recorded 10 goals along with 16 assists, amassing 26 points. She also helped lead Toronto to 3 straight appearances in the Clarkson Cup playoffs. The Puck Authority spoke on Monday with Sammy Joe Small, former Furies GM. Asked for added insight on Julie Allen, Small spoke very highly of what she brings to the franchise. A veteran of the Furies, Julie incredibly came back to the CWHL after a few years out of elite hockey post-college. She made an immediate impact in the dressing room, where her enthusiasm and energy helped lead the Furies to a Clarkson Cup title. On the ice, she has great hands and is a big presence in front of the opponent's net, allowing for not only screens but redirect and rebound opportunities that she often capitalizes on. Being able to return to the ice, the New Hampshire alumna said Tuesday in a statement, joining the Six is an opportunity to continue my playing career and reunite with some former teammates. I feel like I'll add a physical edge to a very talented and skilled group and bring high energy on and off the ice. Adding a defender to the mix, the Toronto Six have also signed Megan Quinn. Quinn, 24 years old, becomes the team's fifth defender going into the bubble. Quinn last played as a pro with the Toronto Furies in the CWHL. In doing so, she joined Julie Allen for what would be her first in 2018-19. Quinn did so after spending 4 years with the Syracuse Orange in the NCAA. Throughout her collegiate hockey career, the Reddy scored 14 goals along with 29 assists, amassing 43 points. Following the season, she was chosen by Toronto, selected 30th overall in the draft's 6th round. In her lone season before the league closed their doors, Quinn helped guide the Furies to the CWHL semifinal. Skating in 28 games, she only racked up 4 points, tallying 1 goal and 3 assists. Speaking on the former Toronto rookie, Small said of the potential that she brings to the ice. While only with the Furies for 1 year, she made an immediate impact on a stellar defensive core. She has incredible vision and is a very patient with the puck. She has the ability to make a great first pass, but follows it up with speed, providing support to offensive rushes. In a statement from Digit Murphy, head coach and president of the Toronto Six, she said of how the three fit Toronto's direction. Julie, Megan, and Tatum bring the depth and experience we will need for the Lake Placid bubble. All three of these players love playing the game and are on board with our mission and quest to win the Isabel Cup. Tatum is a seasoned player with experience at several levels who will fit in perfectly into our offensive scheme. Julie is a veteran who has been around professional hockey for years and adds experience and wisdom to our on-ice and locker room culture. Megan impressed us with her fitness levels and instincts at defense and will strengthen our depth on the back end. So again, that's a rundown from Digit and Sammy Joe Small from my latest column at thepuckauthority.com, where you can go read it along with the press release on toronto.nwhl.zone. Last thing I will make note of today is that Sammy Joe Small, when I spoke with her about Megan Quinn and Julie Allen, she also provided me extra insight on the other Toronto Furies girls on this team, which include Mackenzie McNeil, Cheyenne Darkangelo, Elaine Chuli, and Emma Greco. Now, it's really great because, again, doing feature writing for the Toronto Six ahead of the season, I'm hoping to speak with some of these girls, if not all of them, as much as I have time for and as fast as I can get stories done. So Cheyenne Darkangelo and Elaine Chuli are two that I'm planning to do a joint story on together. Anyways, that to be said, while I don't know if I'll be supplying this to my work anytime soon, I will read these out because I think that these give an incredibly, knowledgeable background on what these players can provide and what they did in the CWHL, why they were impactful players, and what that means for this organization moving forward. So, Mackenzie McNeil. Mackenzie is a hardworking forward whose speed had her on our top two lines. She's a very coachable athlete, and her work ethic means that her skills are going to continue to grow. She has the ability to play with almost anyone, and her vision of the ice and her ability to support the puck carrier meant she can easily play alongside some of the best in the game. Cheyenne Darkangelo. Cheyenne came to the Furies already having played for Team USA and professionally in China. She is a leader on and off the ice and someone others look to for guidance. She's an all-around player who can drive to the net, shoot hard, and capitalize on opportunities. She makes things happen when she's on the ice, but more importantly, she is a galvanizing individual who can be a leader in any dressing room. Elaine Chuli. Elaine was a top goalie in the CWHL and provided improved herself professionally with the KRS Fanky Rays and Furies. Sharing duties with Shay Tiley on a very young team, her strong presence on the back end allowed our team to be very offensive-minded. She's incredibly quick and has a great ability to read the play. She's a fierce competitor who likes to win and expects the best of those around her. Lastly, Emma Greco. Emma Greco. When Emma was injured early in her only season with the Furies, she was sorely missed. She's a calm defenseman who can just as easily quarterback a power play or clear the front of the net. She has great vision on the ice, but also was proving herself as a leader off the ice. I could have seen her eventually wear a letter with the Furies as she was great in the dressing room and, despite an injury, continued to work hard on and off the ice. Now, again, the CWHL shuttered after 12 years of operation due to financial restraints, and that was after their main financial backer, Rustan International, backed out. They are the leading backer of the Hockey News in a co-partnership alongside Sports Illustrated. So some really great insight from Sammy Jo Small, who is a three-time Olympian with 2 golds and 1 silver, former member of the Furies herself in the CWHL, and former Olympian for Hockey Canada's national women's team. So anyways, other than that, I've also spoken with Katrina Gallus, the AGM of the Toronto Furies. Now, I've spoken with her on many occasions before for other stories you can find at thepuckauthority.com. Now, she didn't really, this wasn't exactly her territory to comment on, so I didn't get the, the same insights. But what she did tell me, though, very briefly, however, was the following. So I'm going to just go into that, and then I will wrap today's show. So this is what Katrina told me. She said to me very briefly, 1 second. She said, sorry, she might have not actually commented on the players. We just got into some other conversation. No, we did not actually get into other we only got into the other Furies girls on the roster, with the exception of talking about Quinn and Allen. So nonetheless, that's okay, because there's still lots going on in Toronto Six Land. Again, they're continuing to skate. They just had to skate last night, Sunday, Saturday, and Thursday, which is their schedule until they leave for Lake Placid. So something certainly to keep in mind. Make sure you are watching the National Women's Hockey League on Twitch and NBC Sports for those of you who are watching this streaming live from the United States today. And hopefully there will be a Canadian TV deal with CBC or TSN, one of the two, to put these girls who deserve a stage to perform on in front of their own people, the way they, I guess, certainly were hoping for, especially after NBC gave them a deal for a couple of games. I think that the optimism certainly stood there. So again, that's a roster of 20 more partnerships. I'm assuming will be in the works now that the signings are done, and we know how it's going to work out. And as I said much earlier on in the 6 and 6 program, in earlier programming, I said Gary Soper would continue to consult with the team from home, as he couldn't join in person due to a job commitment here. Hence, Lisa Haley joining the organization from the Ryerson Rams women's hockey team. So that's it for me. My name is Jocelyn Levine from 6 and 6 right here on the BarnBurner TV network and Zingo TV channel 250. Make sure you are watching here every Wednesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3. And you can follow me on Twitter as the Toronto 6 Insider at Justin Levine HBS, and catch my feature work coming up. First story on Emma Woods should be out by the end of the week. I'll be right back here next Wednesday for an update and can read through that story and provide more insight on all things Toronto 6. So make sure you're following along with the Toronto 6 at the Toronto 6 and at NWHL for continuous updates on the team in the league. So again, my name is Justin Levine, and from the BarnBurner TV network and Zingo TV channel 250, make sure you are tuning into these talented ladies when they start their quest for the Isabel Cup next Saturday in Lake Placid, New York. That does it for me from 6 and 6. Signing